Legends, Glass is out now, and seeing as we are one of the only channels out there doing theory videos and explain videos about this film, and because it's so heavily rooted in comic book lore, we figured we would do our due diligence and explain the ending. Because in typical M. Night fashion, it might not be exactly clear what happened. Now, if you haven't seen it, obviously this video is going to contain spoilers. That is what this is for. It's not for people who haven't seen it to watch and then go, bro, I didn't know this video was called Glass Ending Explained and it was going to have spoilers for the end of the movie in it. That being said, everything after the end of this sentence is going to be a spoiler. Period. This is the period in the sentence. I'm starting a new one, so spoilers starting now. Anybody who's followed M. Night's career knows that the man can't resist twisting his audience around. He loves misdirection, he loves setting expectations, and he loves crapping all over those directions and expectations. It's part of what makes him so loved and hated at the same time. It's safe to say that the fate of almost every M. Night film rests on the last 10 to 15 minutes of the film, and if you don't like that portion of the movie, you're probably not going to like the film overall. Even here at Key Issues, we were... God, here comes a pun. Here at Key Issues, we were split on the outcome of what the end of this film was. I liked it, Garrick wasn't a huge fan. The story centers around three characters you already know. David Dunn, a man with tremendous strength who as far as we can tell can't be hurt. But David does have a weakness to water and he can drown. We also have Kevin Wendell Crumb, aka The Horde, a man with dissociative identity disorder who has 24 personalities living inside of him, many of them who worship his ultimate and most dangerous personality, the Beast. The Beast is incredibly strong, resists bullets, and is able to scale walls with the pure power of his grip strength. Lastly, we have the character the film is named after, Mr. Glass, Elijah Price. Mr. Glass is a super genius mass-murdering psychopath who also happens to have a degenerative bone disorder called osteogenesis imperfecta that causes his bones to break very easily, subsequently calling him Mr. Glass. If you want to learn more about these characters, we have a whole series. Feel free to check out those videos on the screen now. I'm not going to explain the entire plot, but I will give you an overview. The film centers around the efforts of Dr. Ellie Staple as she attempts to treat three men who believe they have exceptional superhuman abilities. The film finds these three men in a psychiatric facility faced with their main weaknesses in order to subdue them. David is held in his cell by 40 high-pressure water hoses. Kevin is held in his cell by a light that triggers a blinding flash that immobilizes him and forces a new personality to come forward if he displays threatening behaviors like the Beast. And Glass is pretty smart, so they just keep him drugged up, like super drugged up all the time. Normally, I do a little bit more breakdowns of the plot, and I'm not actually going to do that here. If you've seen the film, which you should have already seen it because you're watching this video, you know what happens. Glass gets free, he recruits the Beast, and then there's a showdown. Now let's discuss the actual end of the film, because in my opinion, it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. The first twist, and I think the twist that everyone in the theater thought was the main twist, was the fact that Kevin Wendell Crumb, the Beast, was also created by Mr. Glass. Throughout the events of Unbreakable and Split, we learn about the various origin elements of these characters, and this film focused a lot more on Kevin's parents. We learn that Kevin's father was on the train that Glass derailed, killing everybody except David during the first moments of Unbreakable. Kevin's father was doing his best to travel and learn about dissociative identity disorder, presumably to help his son. His death and the subsequent lifetime of abuse that Kevin suffered at his mother's ill-equipped hands is what formed the psychological damage necessary to create the Beast. But that leaves us with a burning question. The entire movie is framed in a way that begs you to ask yourself, is any of this shit actually real? Is this all made up? Are these characters actually extraordinary? Everything they're doing seems just real enough that a human could be able to do them, and this is the basis of the second twist of the film. The film wants you to ask yourself, in fact, it begs you to ask yourself, is this real? We are 3 films deep and we want to know, are these characters actually special? And do they really have these abilities? The main twist in this film is born from those questions and assumptions. Is what I'm seeing real? How is M. Night going to take this world away from me? How is he going to explain that what I'm seeing is not real? And you expect to be tricked. The twist is that you aren't being lied to. These are superhumans. The end of the film reveals that Dr. Ellie Staple was actually part of a secret society. This secret society is very aware of the existence of superhuman beings. In fact, this society, whose signature trademark is a 3-leaf clover tattoo, is the main orchestrator of the entire psychiatric evaluation and subsequent showdown. Ellie's job is to assess the abilities of these individuals, and if they were, in fact, superhumans, eliminate them by whatever means necessary. Ellie perfectly understands these abilities, orchestrates every piece she needs in order to kill all of the main characters. After Glass breaks the Beast and David out of the facility, he forces them into a showdown. The subsequent behaviors that both the Beast and David exhibit are extraordinary. The Beast is able to flip cars, David can be seen bending steel bars and punching giant dents into vans. They both dispatch police officers with ease. These men are truly capable of incredible physical feats. Ultimately, every character is killed. Glass is killed when it's revealed to Kevin that Glass was the one responsible for his father's death. Elijah is mortally wounded by the Beast. The Beast, who has shown high resilience to bullets, is tricked into letting his actual personality of Kevin come into the light. Each personality exhibits drastically different traits, and Kevin's just a regular-ass dude, so when Kevin takes the light, a sniper shoots him in the stomach, killing him. The sniper is shown to be a police officer with the same tattoo, Clover, signaling that he's a member of this society and is aware of the existence of superhumans. Lastly, we have David. David is confronted multiple times with the question throughout the film, am I actually special? And Ellie convinces David, or at least convinces him enough, that he isn't. David is ultimately drowned to death by a large police officer who's also a member of this society. Ellie reveals that she probably would have let David live if he would have just stopped believing he was really a superhero, but now that he knows the truth, she was forced to kill him. The film makes you believe that it's over now. The world will keep spinning and no one will know about the superhumans that were walking among them. At this point, M. Night reveals his final twist, Elijah Price. The one character Ellie couldn't stop. Elijah mentions that this comic story was not a showdown or a limited. It was referenced multiple times in the film. In fact, this was an origin story. Elijah was able to record and broadcast the entire event to the world. Every superhuman feat was captured using high-definition security cameras that Ellie installed to spy on Elijah in the first place. The society who stood guard, watching over Earth for thousands of years, preventing humans from understanding their true potential, was finally defeated. Elijah broadcast to the world that superhumans are real, demanding that the rest of the world believe that they're capable of more. The origin story I spoke of a second ago was an origin story for the world, a new world where superhumans actually exist. So ultimately that's the ending. Superheroes in this universe are real, and only time will tell if future installments of this franchise even exist. My money is on no, and maybe that's a good thing, but I wouldn't mind seeing more from this universe and the characters that occupy it. I hope this answers all of your questions about the ending to the film, and if you have any other questions, drop them down in the comments section, and we'll try to do our best to help out. This has been Nick with Key Issues. You know the motto, comics over everything.